Hello, and welcome to this packed video screencast. In this final section, you will learn how to use CSS animations with Dart to make the game even more interactive and captivating. You can style your worm, game board, food objects, and apply the finishing touches to your game. I will also give some jumping off points in case you want to continue developing your game. Things like using WebSockets for multiplayer. In this video, we will be learning how to use more complex CSS to make our games look better and add some flair. Specifically, we will be covering expanding the CSS for our game to make it more presentable, using the border radius and Mozilla border radius tags to make rounded squares for our worm's head and body, and using the background image tag to add images to our food objects. If you don't already have it open, please switch to the Dart editor. Let's begin by opening up our main.css file that contains the CSS for our game. We can click inside the head tag and begin making some modifications. The first thing we want to do is make each of the elements that make up the worm's body and head have slightly rounded edges. To do this, we can use the border radius tag and also the Mozilla border radius tag. We will need to put them in both the worm's head and body CSS declarations. Now you may be wondering why I'm using both border radius and Mozilla border radius. This is because, before a new tag can become standardized, some browsers implement a test version. Older browsers may support a newer feature, but need a special tag to see them. In this case, we want to support the older Firefox browsers, so we will use both the border radius and the Mozilla-specific border radius tags. Next, I want to add images to the food to make them look different than the worm itself. There are plenty of sites on the internet where you can download images for free for personal projects. I have chosen to use the Dart logo with a palette swap for the different kinds of food on the screen. Make sure that whatever images you use, you have the proper permissions to do so. In order to use these images, we are going to use the background image CSS tag along with the URL declaration. We have to make sure the images are accessible, so let's create an image directory under the directory that holds our index.html page. Now we can modify our CSS. We're going to use the background size tag here to make sure that the image we're using stretches over the full 20 by 20 section. Now let's run our game again and see the changes. As you can see, our game is looking a little bit more put together. We can continue to modify our CSS and add as much flair to our game as we want. If you are unfamiliar with CSS, please check out some of the great CSS resources at Pack Publishing. In our next video, I will be covering CSS animations and how they work with Dart. Thank you very much for watching.